Good afternoon and welcome to the Enactus United States training session. We are excited to have you here with us. We know your time is limited and we want to thank you for agreeing to spend time with us today learning about Enactus. I am Jennifer Orban, Vice President of Programs for the United States. Our training today is designed to give you an overview of Enactus and to provide all of you the information that you will need to effectively prepare your team to see possibilities, take action, and enable progress. So let's get started. Courtney Jones, Regional Program Manager, will be our facilitator today. She will guide us through the agenda, and you will be hearing from several of our Regional Program Managers today. It's an opportunity for you to meet them and to learn from them as we go through our process. Thank you for your patience in this new training tool, and we encourage you to give us feedback on how we're doing. Thank you for your time and talent and commitment to our purpose, to enable progress through entrepreneurial action. Courtney?
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Welcome again to our programs training session. This is an informative session that will tell you everything you need to know from branding to team succession plans and everything in between. We're so excited that you're here with us, and we encourage you to either tweet your questions, to comment via YouTube, and make sure you have an account either through Google or through YouTube. And also you can email us your questions at BatwoodB@enactus.org. However way you can get your questions to us, we want to hear from you, and we're going to have a chance to shout you out and to answer your questions at the end of our session today. So we're going to get started first with a rebranding update from the Enactus Worldwide. So we have Tona that's going to give us that update. Tona?
Hi, everybody, and thank you for having me. And thank you to all of you watching for joining us today. We're really excited about this new training tool, and I have a global role. I'm in charge of global branding. So I am excited and so proud of the way that the world really is embracing the Enactus brand. So I wanted to take an opportunity to talk about that with you today and to share some tools that are available to you and to give you some ideas. So with that said, I'm going to share my screen with you so that I can share a couple of documents. Okay, so what you see on the screen now is the logged in section of enactus.org. And on the logged in section of enactus.org, we have a couple of tools available for teams. The first of which is a logo template that you can create your own university Enactus logo. And then we also have logo usage guidelines so you can understand how to properly use the Enactus logo. This is what the university logo template looks like. We have it set in lorem ipsum type, and it allows you to change the type to your university name. We don't have a logo generator like we used to. This is an art file that you can edit in any design software like Adobe Illustrator or something of that sort. So once you replace it with your university name, you can see that it accommodates very long names and also accommodates very short names. Then we have also provided you with the logo guidelines so you can understand how to use the Enactus logo properly. And then we give you tips on how to create your own university lockup using that logo template. You also have the option of using the Enactus logo by itself and using the Enactus logo in conjunction with your university logo. Just be sure to check your university logo guidelines to make sure you're following those rules as well. I've added to this document the Enactus color palette because it's something that I want all of you to understand. We have a much more robust color palette with the Enactus brand. We have these very bright, vibrant primary colors that we use. We really use them in 4 different ways. We use the primary palette at 100% of its value. Those are the 5 colors that you see across the top of this page. We also use them at some percentage of opacity. So we'll use the primary palette at like maybe 30% transparency so that you can see an image coming through the color. And then really the third way, there are 3 ways, not 4, that we use the color palette is by creating a gradient of the primary palette and the secondary palette. So you might see you go from light to dark blue, like we have along the bottom here, or you could do dark to light. So that's the third way that we really use the color palette. We like to use a variety of colors within the color palette, and you'll see if you look at Enactus.org, you'll see a good representation of the colors being used relatively equally. So that's a kind of a new component with the Enactus brand. We also encourage you to use the Enactus brand on your annual reports that are upcoming and during your presentations at regionals and at Expo. So one other element that has gained a lot of momentum is the origami icon. That's a part of the Enactus logo. We see a lot of people creating the origami icon and using it in an isolated basis, which is fine. And we encourage that. A couple of things that we don't want to have happen with the icon are represented in this slide. So we don't want to show the icon in some orientation other than its upright form. So we don't want to actually tip it on its side or show it upside down or something of that nature. We also don't want to add any additional shapes to the icon. So this is what's happening in the upper right-hand corner where I've created a blue square that's butted up against the corner of the icon. You can depict the icon on color or on top of a photograph, just not having a portion or some other shape that's snugged up into it. And then on the bottom, you'll see where a word has been incorporated into the icon. We don't want anything to actually violate the icon, even though courage is a great word for the Enactus organization and represents one of our values. We don't want to actually violate the icon itself. So you could use that word in close proximity to the icon. So those are all really exciting ways to use the Enactus brand and some things that I've seen out in the marketplace that we can watch out for. I am very excited about seeing your project photos. So if you have great project photos that show entrepreneurship in action, please submit them to me at trowett@enactus.org. Videos too are welcome, and you might see your project photo on the next team handbook or some other piece of communication that comes from the global marketing department. And if you have any questions about how you've used the logo or something you're creating, feel free to send that to your regional project manager and they'll forward it on to me. And then we'll be able to share the response with everyone so there's a whole circle of learning. So thank you very much for your time today, and I'm going to pass it back to Courtney, who's going to introduce our next guest.
Thank you so much, Tona. That was so informative. I know lots of the teams out there have questions about brand rebranding, what the process is, and we'll be able to answer those at the end of our session, but be free to tweet those questions out to us. Next, a big question that we get a lot as program managers is recruitment. So like team structure and succession plan. So I'm going to shoot it to Stephen, who's going to talk about that. And he's the regional program manager for the Mid-Atlantic Territory. Stephen?
Thank you very much, Courtney. So today we are going to discuss team succession planning and recruitment. And before even getting into that team succession planning and recruitment, you have to have a team structure. So with that, we want to let you know that all of these resources and all of the information I'll cover today is actually going to be on the Enactus United States website under Program Info, and you can click on Team Training and Resources. So if later you want to reference this material, check it out there. So before we go about recruiting and creating that succession plan, you want to make sure that you have a good, solid team structure. You do actually have the ability of organizing your team however you like, but here are some 3 basic structures that you can utilize. The first is the basic structure, and you're going to see this in a lot of organizations. The roles would be organized by president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. So really just the basic explanation of leadership structures. Next, you can actually structure your team by function. You would still have a president who has the majority of the responsibility of the team and setting that that structure and plan for the team, and then you would have people assisting that position. So the VP of Finance or the VP of Marketing or whatever you choose to have on your executive team. Finally, there's a structure that really allows the responsibility to be shared throughout the members. And this is the corporate structure, where you have your CEO, your CFO, your COO, and even CPO. So this is the opportunity for you to again, distribute the responsibility of the team across multiple people, so it's not one sole responsibility. Regardless of the type that you choose to structure your executive leadership team, it's important to have clearly defined roles, accountability in case somebody doesn't pull their weight. You have that structure in place to where you can make sure that you have the accountability in place. Also, one thing that we're really pushing for teams is to include a position that actually focuses on student recruitment and marketing. This is going to allow you to have one specific person whose role and guideline is to set how many members you'll recruit for that semester or for the year, as well as being able to determine how many of each grade you'll recruit. So whether that's freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, you'll be able to implement specific numbers there. So with speaking with recruitment, we're going to discuss some ways that you can recruit members to your Enactus team. First, we really recommend utilizing the already established school activities. So whether this is new student orientation or career fairs or club and academic fairs at the beginning of the year, have a booth where your Enactus team can have a presence on your campus. This is going to allow you to engage with those members at the beginning of the year when they've not already committed to other organizations. If you've already done that and you're still having difficulty recruiting members, speak with professors within your department or throughout the university or institution and ask them to nominate one or two students that they feel would really thrive in the engaged learning environment that Enactus provides. By having the professor actually nominate them or suggest them, it's going to allow them to have a little more of a responsibility to attend the information session and digest that information. When you're starting to have your information sessions and you're getting a lot of new members, it's going to be important to get them connected and make them feel a part of the organization. And you can do this through mentoring. Whether you're having new members mentor your executive leaders, your project leaders, or just regular Enactus members, it's important to create those mentoring opportunities for the students. Also, if you're a new team or you're a team that is really wanting to take your projects to the next level, you can also mentor under other successful Enactus teams within your region. And if this sounds like something you want to do, connect with your regional program manager, and he or she will get you connected with a team in your region. One of the very best ways that you can get members engaged and allow them to see the full Enactus experience is by having them attend the regional competitions or the National Expo with your team. When they go to these events, they're going to see that being a part of Enactus is allowing them to be a part of a community that is much larger than themselves in their specific institution. By getting them there, they're also interacting with our partner companies as well as other Enactus teams from across the United States. So this year, as you're bringing your team to regional competitions, bring those new members. It's really going to help get them plugged in. Next, we're going to discuss some ideas on succession planning. The first is to create a yearly leadership log. And you'll do this for not only your president, but for every leadership role on your executive team. This leadership log is going to provide key dates and deadlines and information on how they can connect with their regional program manager, as well as all of the Enactus templates. So whether that's your project planning template or that's your student recruitment template, whatever that looks like, have these in those logs. Because this is going to provide a guidebook for those incoming leaders for the next year. And in talking about succession planning of your leadership, one thing that you could do is actually elect and identify leaders for the next year during the current spring semester. This allows those members and newly elected leaders to actually serve as mentors during that spring session. So they can sit in on your leadership meetings. They'll be able to see how meetings are ran, how you're developing your projects and maintaining member involvement. So that way when they're in that role completely in the fall, they already have a taste of what it's like. We all know how busy the fall semester gets. We get back on campus, we're excited to see our friends and dive into our coursework, and we're excited about to start our Enactus projects. One thing that will really help your team and take you to the next level is if you begin developing your projects in the spring. In the spring, even before competition, begin analyzing your project portfolio, looking at those projects that may no longer fit with the criterion and maybe do not have those measurable outcomes, and identifying those projects. That way you can get rid of them and begin to brainstorm on new projects to implement in the fall. That way all of the research has already been done, and in the fall semester you're actually just implementing the project. This is going to allow the new members and the new executive leaders to be able to hit the ground running and not have to backpedal by planning which projects they will do. And with any project, it's important to have financial sustainability. In the fall, usually in mid-September, that's when we release our project partnerships for the year as well as topic competitions. These funds are available for teams to help our specific partner companies fulfill their specific corporate social responsibility. So keep an eye out for these documents. They are going to be in our United States Competition Awards and Scholarship Guides that is updated yearly. So look at that on our website. It's going to allow you to connect with partner companies and receive funding for your projects. Also, you want to look at creating projects that actually make your team sustainable. So whether you're looking at creating a new product or a service, look at how you can develop that project where it brings back funding to your specific Enactus team, where you will not have to worry so much about doing fundraisers. These are just some ideas on student recruitment and succession planning. If you have any others, feel free to send them to B as in boy or Brittany, B Atwood at enactus.org, or tweet us with the hashtag Enactus Training. Courtney?
Thank you so much, Stephen. And if you have any team succession plans that you want us to know about, feel free to shout those out and tweet those so we can hear them, pass those on to other teams. Next, we will have Business Advisory Board. We want to know how can we obtain, maintain, and sustain our Business Advisory Board. So we're going to jump over to Justin, a Regional Program Manager for the Northeast Territory, who is going to tell us all about it. Justin?
Thank you, Courtney. Hello, everybody. As Courtney said, I'm going to be discussing the topic of Business Advisory Board, or what we like to call it in Enactus as BAB. First, I will be starting out with talking about what is a Business Advisory Board, or what is a BAB, because we do have some teams out there who do not have Business Advisory Boards. I'll also be going into what are the benefits of a Business Advisory Board, as well as how to build and manage that Business Advisory Board. So, first of all, what is a BAB, or Business Advisory Board? Business Advisory Board is a board of directors, in a sense, for a team, and it serves as a guidance and mentorship for a team, provides a lot of networking for the team. They help with project identification and implementation, as well as, in some cases, actually provide funding for projects. Who might be on this team, you might ask? Well, Some great resources and people to reach out to serve on your business advisory board would be vice presidents and deans from your school, local successful entrepreneurs, possibly the director or executive director of your Chamber of Commerce, or your local nonprofit like a Rotary Club. Also, Enactus alumni are really great to add to your business advisory board, as well as Enactus donor company representatives. And for those two, for alumni and donor company representatives of Enactus, please reach out to your program manager to make those connections and find out who's going to be in your area. And finally, members of the media, local members, whether it's an interest piece writer for your local paper or a newscast from your local television station. Those are really great people because they're really going to help promote Enactus in your community and be able to make connections for you. So now that you know kind of who serves on a BAB, it also is important, even though I mentioned before that the BAB is much like a board of directors for a team. The team does have final decision-making power, unlike the board of directors of many companies where the board of directors has the decision-making power. The team can still do the kinds of projects it likes to do and work with and partner with the people that they'd like to on their projects. So now that I've kind of explained what a business advisory board is, I'll talk about what are the benefits of having a business advisory board. Well, there are quite a few. First of all, a business advisory board will bring credibility and sustainability to your team. If you think about it, if you have people like the executive director of your chamber on your business advisory board, they have a lot of connections in your community that deals with a lot of the local entrepreneurs and business owners. Again, that can be a great connection for project implementation because we do know a lot of our teams work with current local business owners and entrepreneurs. Another thing it can bring to your team is obviously a level of skill and expertise. A lot of our business advisory members have worked in the field or are currently working in the field and have dealt with a lot of the situations and needs that they've run into with a lot of target groups that you're going to be working with. So bringing the level of expertise to the table and having that, again, guidance and mentorship relationship with them, they can provide a lot of insight into your projects and how to help out and go about project planning, again, and implementation. We have seen a strong correlation firsthand of teams that have strong business advisory boards as well as teams that have strong programs and do well at competitions. So that's another great benefit of having a strong and engaged business advisory board. And as I said before, business advisory boards, or BABs, can be a really great starting point for project creation. Again, executive director of your Chamber of Commerce has a lot of connections with the local business owners, which can be people you can work with your projects, whether it's introducing a new product or looking at overall business practices or inventory flow, or even provide training for current employees. You could work with maybe even a KPMG local representative to help put on a financial skills workshop for an elderly group of people or something along those lines. So there's a lot of benefits to having those types of people and those certain people that can help build your business advisory board and provide a lot of feedback and benefits to your team. Finally, business advisory boards have shown to sponsor and co-sponsor projects. So that's also a really great opportunity and benefit to your team, as well as provide scholarships for specifically Enactus students. So all really great things that come from having a strong and engaged business advisory board. So finally, how do you start to build this BAB? Well, first of all, as Stephen mentioned before, all of these resources that I'm discussing with you guys today are out on our website. If you go to program info, team training and resources on the enactusunitedstates.org website, there's a best practice guide on there on business advisory boards that has a ton of materials, reach out letters to introduce yourself to prospective business advisory board members, as well as recognition certificates, all of the above. So all those are pretty condensed, and those resources are out there for you and your team to utilize. Another thing that you're definitely going to want to do as part of your creation of your business advisory board and your management of it is you might want to assign a specific student on your team to serve as the BAB liaison or vice president of the business advisory board or BAB chair, whatever you want to call it, to serve as that person who keep the responsibility of having to keep the business advisory board engaged, letting your team know what projects they're doing and how they can help out. outlining what the responsibilities of the BAB members are going to be, because it's really going to be really important when making that initial reach out that you have a clearly defined responsibility of what they're going to be bringing to the table, so that they know what their commitment is going to be to your team. And then even setting up maybe meetings with the business advisory board, whether that's you Skype them in or Google chat them in, or they come in for maybe a dinner once every semester. And then maybe even developing some sort of term system. Maybe they only serve on a 1-year, 2-year term, so that you're getting in and rotating your different resources out, but still keeping maybe your retired business advisory boards within your network, but just maybe as a less active role. Just as a final wrap up, when you're starting your business advisory board, definitely reach out to your chamber, local nonprofit directors, and then when you're looking to make those connections with corporate donors from the Enactus network or Enactus alumni who might have relocated to your area, reach out to your regional program managers because they'll be able to make those connections for you. I'm going to turn it back over to Courtney, and she will introduce our next topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. That was very, very informative. Next, I hear we have over 180 jobs on our career marketplace. That is really exciting. And I need to know more information. I know that you want to know more information about it too. So I'm going to jump to Kirk Bowman, who is the Vice President of Career Services. Kirk, we'd love to hear from you.
Thanks, Courtney. Yes, she's absolutely right. We have over 180 career opportunities currently posted on the new Enactus United States Career Marketplace. And if you haven't been there yet, it's an amazing resource for our students and for our alumni. It's an exclusive opportunity for you as an Enactus USA student or as an alum. Gives you great access to those career opportunities, some career development resources, mentorship opportunities, just a lot of great stuff out there. I'm going to show you exactly what's out there. I'm going to share my screen with you. And we're going to go through it. Just to make sure we see it. Okay. So how do you access the Enactus United States Career Marketplace? Well, first you do have to be a registered Enactus student. So you have to register through enactusunitedstates.org through the website, be approved by your faculty member. So once you log in to the enactusunitedstates.org, you're going to click Career Marketplace on the left sidebar once you're logged in. And then you're going to click the student link. And then you're going to register. And I'm going to show you a screenshot of this so you can see exactly what it looks like. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you will be sent a verification link in your email. And it's the email that you register with, so make sure you register with an active email. You do need to click this link within 24 hours to activate your account. And then it goes to us for approval, and it can take up to 24 hours for us to approve your account, just verifying that everything is correct in your account. You'll be sent that link to create your password, and again, your username is going to be your email address that you registered with. So how do you get there? First, enactusunitedstates.org/career_marketplace. Then click Login. Log in with your credentials. On the left hand of the screen here, you see that I've already logged in, and I'm going to click on Career Marketplace. That's going to bring me to the screen to the right, which gives you 3 different links to choose from. If you're a student, please click that link. If you're an alumni, please click that link. You shouldn't be an employer, so please don't click that one. We do know who students are and who employers are, so we'll make sure we get you in the right place if you hit it by accident. But click the appropriate link and then register. So click the registration button on the right. That takes less than 5 minutes to complete. It's very easy. Ask for some basic information, and then again, it's sent to us for verification, and you get that verification link in your email. Make sure you click that, again, within 24 hours because it does expire, and you won't be able to get in if you wait too long. Now, we've made it a lot easier for you to log in once you're approved. Once you're registered, you can now log in through the Enactus Career Marketplace with your Facebook or your LinkedIn account. Now, this doesn't share your Facebook or your LinkedIn information. It just simply allows you to log in with one click. So if you're like me and you have a lot of different passwords and usernames and emails that you're using in all these different sites, it makes it just a lot easier to be able to log in with Facebook or LinkedIn. Again, your Facebook profile information is not shared. Once you logged in, and you've registered, you're going to want to create your profile. Your personal profile is just that. It's personal information. We do not release that externally to anyone, but it's basic information for us to be able to match the right things to you. And then your academic profile is things like your major, your grade point average, your graduation date, your geographic areas of preference. So where do you want to work? What part of the U.S. do you want to work once you graduate? Things like that. And there's a little ticker at the top. You can see that on my personal profile I have 100% complete, and on my academic profile I have 90% complete. So it'll tell you how far you come to completing your profile. Now you must complete that profile before you can see the jobs, before you can apply for the jobs. It takes less than 5 minutes to do this. So again, very easy and very simple to do. Once you do that, upload your resume. If you have a resume already, it takes less than 5 seconds. If you don't have a resume, you can use this great tool, which is the Resume Builder. And you can create your own resume from up to 37 different formats and styles. So it's not just a bunch of templates. It actually allows you to plug in your own information, your own, your qualified and your quantified metrics, your results, your leadership opportunities, your Enactus experience. Don't forget to mention that in your resumes. And you'll be able to create your own resume. And then that PDFs it, and it's ready to go. So if you do have a document, you want to click the Documents tab, then click Add New to upload, or click the Resume Builder tab to start the Resume Builder process. Now, once you've got all that done, start applying for jobs. There are, as Courtney mentioned, over 180 different positions posted right now through the Career Marketplace. And in fact, just about 3 hours ago, we added another employer. So we have 59 different employers that are posting jobs to the Marketplace. We add new companies and new opportunities every week. To give you an example, from the dates of February 4th to today, which is February 7th, we added 56 new job postings to the Career Marketplace. And those jobs do have expiration dates, so don't wait until the last minute to apply because you might miss out. Another great example of that is between the dates of tomorrow, February 8th, and Monday, February 11th, 20 of those jobs will expire. So make sure you're checking it often, and you're applying before those expiration dates. Definitely you can use this opportunity to secure your internship, your full-time job. There are even part-time opportunities if you're looking for some employment while you're going to school to help you pay some of the bills. You can really set the system up to work for you, so you're actually notified by text message or by email of jobs that match a certain criterion that you've set through the search parameters. And you can use this as a research opportunity as well to learn more about those corporate employers. Each corporate employer has a profile that lists their history, their culture, videos about their brands, their employees, all kinds of stuff that helps you understand who they are before you meet them in the career fair, before you go to that interview. So use this opportunity to become knowledgeable with the careers and with the companies that you're interested in. And as an added bonus, many of these companies have direct HR contacts listed there that you can connect with directly. So what other organization gives you direct access to not only the employers, but to the employer contacts? Enactus does, and it's an exclusive benefit to you as a student or as an alumni. So take advantage of this. Use this to build your network. Justin talked about business advisory board members. This is a great way to reach out to say, hey, I noticed that you're working with so-and-so and you've got this job posted and you're going to be in Buffalo, New York. Well, my team is actually based in Buffalo, New York. Would you mind coming to one of our team meetings and learning more about our business advisory board? Or we need a little bit of help with resumes or interview prep or things like that. So utilizing them as a subject matter expert. Again, use that to build your network, to find a mentor. We're also adding in alumni that you can do that with as well. But just a great, really robust site that, again, provided only to you as an Enactus student and alumni. And one of the coolest things is this is accessible on the go. It's mobile. The Career Marketplace is accessible wherever you go on your smartphone, compatible with the Windows Mobile, with iPhone, with Android, with BlackBerry, you name it. You can access it through your mobile device. Now, how do you get it? You're going to log in through your mobile browser to the website. enactusunitedstates.org, click Career Marketplace, log in just as you would as a student, and then you're going to bookmark that link, add it to your home screen. That particular site, the Career Marketplace, is mobile optimized. So it's not just something that you can zoom in on, it's the actual marketplace itself where that doesn't require zooming. It's built for your mobile device and adjusts to that. And it's really cool because if you need to do some on-the-spot research, maybe a company showed up to the career fair that you weren't expecting and you want to learn more about them, you can do that. Or they say, well, you need to go apply for my job. Well, instead of waiting until you get home that night or later that afternoon or you're on the bus back home to your college, you can actually do it right there with your phone and apply, upload your resume, apply directly for those opportunities. So 3 key items, 3 key steps. Certainly, number 1, want to register for an account. It's free, it takes very little time, and there's huge opportunities available. Verify your email address. Again, you're going to be sent that email verification link. So make sure, 1, you register with an active email that you check, and you click that link. Account approval can take up to 24 hours again, so don't wait until the last minute to apply or to register and things like that. Number 2, complete your profile and upload your resume. Can take about 10 minutes. Number 3, search and apply for positions. Be sure to check the marketplace often because we do add many, many new opportunities. New companies come in all the time, and it just really continues to change the marketplace quite a bit. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your regional program managers, or you can contact my team directly by emailing careerconnections@enactus.org. And that is all of mine. Did anyone else have questions or anything else I can help with? Ready to turn it back over to you, Courtney?
Great. Thank you so much, Kirk. Again, like he said, if you have any questions about the Career Marketplace, Kirk will be answering those questions after our session. The part that I'm really most excited about and my favorite time of the academic year is competition season. Who's all registered for competition? We want to hear from you. Let's see where you're going. So I'm going to turn it over to Brittany Atwood, who is the Director of Team Resources, and she's going to tell us all the information we need regarding competition. Brittany.
Thank you so much, Courtney, and hello to everyone that's joining in our session today. As Courtney mentioned, competition is our favorite time of the year around here at Enactus United States. If you have not registered yet for competition, you have 8 short days to do so. The deadline is February 15th. Again, if you are competing this year, please register as soon as possible. Spots are filling up very quickly. We do have some caps on some of the locations, Baltimore, Chicago, Dallas, and Atlanta. So if you are planning on going to any of those spots, please register today and secure your place. If you need your username and password, you can contact any of us in the USA Programs Department. You can register very easy. Just head to enactusunitedstates.org, click on the Competition Resources tab, and you can go from there. At this point, we just need you to register. You don't need to know how many faculty or what students or who the students are that are coming with you. You can just register now. We'll close the registration on February 15th for about a week, and then we will reopen that, and that's when you can go in and make any changes necessary for your team. If you are a newer team this year or you're just not sure about competing, which we encourage all of you to do so, we will have a separate observer registration that will open at the end of February, and an email will go out about that. The link pairings will be posted 5 business days before the competition city that you're attending. We will post those on our website at enactusunitedstates.org, and the link pairings are the times that will tell you what time you're competing, of course, and what teams you're competing against. So be looking for that in your email box. We do require 3 mandatory reports here in the United States for your team to compete. One of those being an annual report, one of them being the project verification form, and then of course the team data sheet that I'm sure most of you are familiar with. The annual report is a document that will display your projects. New this year, we do have a new live presentation time block of 25 minutes. So those of you who have competed in the past, you're used to the 37-minute time block. This year it's 25 minutes. It'll be a 3-minute setup period, 17-minute audiovisual presentation, and a 5-minute question and answer. So your annual report, you are required to have copies for every single judge that's in your competition room. We will send out a pre-event memo prior to the regional city that you are attending to let you know how many annual reports to bring with you, so you can ensure that each judge gets one in your competition room. We also do require you to submit 4 copies into us the morning of registration when you check in with your team at the competition city of which you're competing in. The project verification form, this can also be found many places. We have copies we can send you. You can find it on our website. You'll need to print this out and have it signed before you bring it to the regional competition with you. This needs to be signed by a student leader as an Enactus advisor, or an Enactus advisor and an administrator from your school. So the dean, the president, the provost, any type of administrator. This has to be signed before you come to competition, and you'll turn it in the morning of registration when you check in with us. The third form that we require is the team data sheet. This sheet is actually done and filled out online prior to the competition that you're competing at. The deadline for the team data sheet is March 8th. Absolutely no exception. So if you are competing this year, the team data sheet is up in a couple different places online on our website. You just need to click on the link, know your username and password, and you can fill that out now. We would highly recommend that and encourage that so you can get it out of the way. If you don't know all of your project outcomes right now, please, please, please get that submitted by March 8th. If, unfortunately, you don't come to competition with the team data sheet, the project verification form, or your annual report, we will give you time to rectify the problem before you compete. But if that does not happen, unfortunately, you can still present before the judges that day, but your presentation will not be judged. So, again, those are very important documents. We will send out a lot of memos reminding you of that, but ensure that you bring that with you. A fourth thing is optional for your team to bring, which would be a team bio. So some teams choose to do this and some teams don't do this. This isn't required. We do encourage it, but it is not a requirement. So the team bio, some teams get very creative with it. It can be pictures, who you are, what your major is, and it has to be 5 pages front and back or shorter than that, so it can only be a max of 5 pages short, front and back. Here at Enactus United States, we do provide a few things for you at the regional competition cities. We do provide a screen in the competition room, and we also provide an extension cord and power. So your team is in charge of bringing your own laptop, your own computer, your own presentation, your own projector. A lot of teams bring AV carts to put their projector and their laptop on. Again, we would highly encourage you to have backup on a thumb drive, on a DVD, on your computer. Have a backup of your presentation wherever possible. We do not let you have access to the competition rooms the night before the competition, so you'll be able to see the competition rooms when you actually present. All of them are very similar from the past years, and all of them are very similar from regional location to location. So it's completely up to your team as well how many presenters that you would like to have. We would recommend anywhere from 4 to 6, but if you only have 2, 3, 4, completely up to you how many presenters your team wants to bring with you to the actual competition. Again, I just want to reiterate the presentation time change, since this is new this year: 3-minute setup, 17-minute audiovisual presentation, and 5-minute Q&A. Some words of advice from us here at the Enactus United States Programs Office. Keep your annual report simple and concise. Make sure you're very creative. Use pictures, use charts, use graphs. Again, going back to the being concise, use bullet points versus paragraphs. make sure that you are really reiterating the results of your projects and the outcomes of your projects and what the participants did with what you taught them. So don't just tell us how many people showed up at your event. Tell the judges in your annual report what the participants did with what you taught them. Again, everything that I'm talking about today is on our website in a couple different places, team resources section and also the competition resources section. So we are here to help you get ready for competition, give you ideas on annual reports. We do have the top 20 schools from last year, from our national competition. We do have their annual reports posted on our website if any of you are looking for ideas. And lastly, good luck to you and your team at competition, and we're very excited to see you at one of our 10 regional locations coming up in March and April. Courtney?
Thank you so much, Brittany. That was very, informative of exactly what we need to do. And we're going to go more in depth, especially with our question and answer period, because we've been getting lots and lots of questions, lots of great questions via Twitter, as well as comments, as well as email. So we're going to jump right in. If you do have additional questions, make sure you're using the hashtag Enactus Training. That way we can see your questions and we can answer properly. Also, we have some important and exciting opportunities available to you through our project partnerships. One being the OB topic competition. And so we have Megan Edwards here who's going to talk more in depth about the OB topic competition. Megan?
Thanks, Courtney. We are really excited about partnering with OB this year for the Call to Reduce Ocean Pollution topic competition. This year, enrolled teams from eligible states, those are states either touching the coast or along the Mississippi River, they will enter really creative projects that are going to both empower their target audience as well as reduce ocean pollution. So teams can enter a project that is completed between September 1st, 2012 or through March 31st, 2013. There are going to be 8 cash prizes up to $7,500 awarded. And so we definitely want teams that are able to participate to make sure and enter on time. The entry deadline will be April 1st, 2013. And all of this information and more is going to be at enactusunited.org. It's underneath the program info top of competition. If your team is interested in participating, we highly recommend that you tune in for our webinar on Monday. It's going to be at 3:30 Central Time. Eligible teams were sent an email on Tuesday, and so go ahead and check those email boxes, make sure. And then if you have any issues or your team is eligible to participate but you didn't get that email, send me a note. My email is medwards@enactus.org. Thanks.
We have another important question. Hey, Megan, so I recently just applied for our project partnership Lowe's grant. When do I find out about the results of that?
Thanks, Courtney. You know, we had a lot of teams apply for the Lowe's project partnership, and we are so grateful that you guys are interested in this project partnership. Our goal at this point is to alert all teams if you're participating or not on or before Valentine's Day. So keep an eye on your email. We'll let teams know that way. And also, if you just want to be updated about project partnerships in general, subscribe to the blogs on each dedicated website. All the information, those websites are available in Enactus United States. Thanks.
Thank you. Now we have a branding question. Where can I find all these logos and resources and guidelines that you were talking about, Tona?
That one's for me. You can find the university logo lockup and the the logo guidelines document on enactus.org. So it's available in the logged in section. Thanks, Courtney.
Yeah, we have another branding question real quick, Tona. Did the logo change since World Cup?
That's a great question, Courtney. And yes, actually, we've made a few tweaks to the logo since World Cup. So the way to tell that there's a little hint that you can tell whether or not you have the proper logo If the 3 triangles that comprise the origami are all the same color, then you have the proper logo. So the logo itself should only be comprised of 2 colors. The 3 triangles are 1 color, and the second color is the color that comprises the shadow. So thanks, Courtney.
Thank you, Tana. I know we have a lot of competition questions that have come in. And this one came from Twitter. Ms. Atwood, why did the competition presentation times change this year?
Thank you, Courtney. A couple reasons why the presentation time changed. One of them, we knew that you did not need the 7-minute setup period anymore. So we were finding with the advancement of technology that it didn't take you 7 minutes to boot your computer up. So that was one of the main reasons that the setup period changed. One of the main reasons that the actual audio-visual presentation changed was because in the real world today, giving any presentations in the business world, we weren't finding them to be 24 minutes long. So remember, come to competition with only a 25-minute presentation, or unfortunately the league coordinator will stop you in the middle.
Oh no, we don't want that to happen. We have another question, also for Brittany. So Brittany, how many students should present at competition?
Thank you, Courtney. It's completely up to you how many teams or how many presenters your team chooses to have. So we would recommend anywhere from 4 to 6, especially with the new presentation time. But we've seen anywhere from 1 to 10. I wouldn't recommend 1 and I wouldn't recommend 10, so somewhere in the middle is what we encourage.
And what documents are needed to compete in competition? What are my must-haves?
Again, those 3 things I talked about earlier: the annual report, filling out the team data sheet online by March 8th, and also the project verification form. That does not need to be submitted to us online. That will need to be printed out, and you will bring that with you to the regional competition. And then a team bio is optional for your team.
And we have one last question. Can I wear my SIFE apparel to competition, or can I have that in my PowerPoint presentation? What can I do?
Although you will not be penalized if you choose to wear SIFE polos or put the SIFE logo in your annual report, we highly, 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 highly discourage it. So please, if you haven't yet, look into getting new Enactus apparel and make sure you use those logos that Tona spoke about earlier to use in your audiovisual presentation and also your annual report.
Thank you, Brittany. Now we have a couple of questions about the career marketplace. Someone asked, what if it says that I don't qualify for a job? What can I do?
So a couple of things. If you don't qualify for a job, it typically means just that. There are many different parameters that companies post with their jobs. So they may be looking for a certain set of majors, or they may be looking for someone that has graduated within a certain time frame. Or looking for, maybe a junior or a senior for this type of position. Now, if you think that you should be eligible for that job, then you can actually click on that job, and it'll tell you why you don't qualify. So maybe you have your major wrong, or maybe you're an international business major, and they're looking for business majors. So it might be something as small as that. So you might need to edit your profile a bit. I'm not saying you need to change your profile so you match the job descriptions, because you certainly want to be honest and have the accurate information posted there. But you may need to adjust something just in case maybe you missed it, or you're filling it out on a smartphone and missed it and clicked the wrong box or something like that. So verify that. But the posting will tell you why you don't qualify. So it'll help you understand that a bit better.
We have another question. Someone asked, I tried to log on several times. It says that my username isn't registered. Help.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, help. So we can definitely help with that. Now, what typically happens is whenever you register, that verification link is not being clicked. So make sure you register with a valid email address, and not just a valid email address, an email address that you check often. And then as soon as you register, go check your email, because usually within a few minutes you'll get that verification link. Click that verification link as soon as you can, because it does expire, and you want to make sure that you are activating your account. If you don't activate your account, I believe it's 48 hours, maybe even be 24 hours within that time frame, then yes, it'll say that your username is not recognized. If you have any issues like that, please email us at careerconnections@enactus.org. If you are in the system and have already logged in and have issues, you can actually chat with the Career Connections team through the home page, and it'll show you a little bubble that you can chat with us. If we're online, we'll be able to chat with you in real time. If not, it sends us an email directly so we can help resolve your issue.
And one last question. Where can I find the companies that will be recruiting at the career fairs at the regional competitions?
Oh, great question. So in the past, if you're a veteran Enactus student that has been competing for a couple of years, you may remember that it's been posted on our website through enactus.org and the regional competition sites for Dallas, Atlanta, whatever city that you're going to. This year we've moved that, and that is actually going to be housed on the Career Marketplace. So when you log into the Career Marketplace, you'll be able to click your city that you're going to be attending, and you'll be able to see the employers that will be represented there in the career fair. Now, this actually adds a really cool feature to it, because not only can you now see the employers that are going to be there and what cities they're going to be going to, but you can also now see what specific jobs they're going to be hiring for at those career fairs. So you can apply in advance, or you can contact that employer in advance with any questions that you have, so you're prepared by the time you get to the career fair.
Thank you, Kurt. And we have time for one last question. And how can I connect to other teams, international teams in our Enactus network? Great question. Your regional program manager will be able to help you with all types of things concerning connecting with other teams, especially in international countries. So if you just shoot your regional program manager an email or call them on the phone and say, hey, I want to connect, we will give you that correct information and who to contact regarding that. If you haven't talked to your regional program manager and you have important questions, or you just want to say, hey, I just want to see you, or I want to Skype and I want to do video calling or Google Hangouts, and we're more than willing to do that. So contact us, email us, give us your questions, give us your comments. We're more than willing to help. Let us know your feedback about this session. Did you like it? Do you want to see more things like it? And let us know how we can be an assistance to you. We thank you so much for your time. If you have questions, you can continue to tweet them, message us, email us, anything, however you need to get it out. You can give us some smoke signals. We'll get it. So thank you so much for your time. Bye.